Hey everyone, how's it going? This is Jeremy aka Zarujarambe back again with another video on Dragon Ball Z Dokkan Battle. On the global side, we now have Extreme Z Awakenings available for all 5 of the free-to-play farmable Team Bardock units. And in this video, we're going to talk about the update and hidden potential guide. I put out one a little while back for these units when they first came out, but with the Extreme Z Awakenings, they get some buffs and some changes to their kits. So we're going to talk about the updated hidden potential guide that I recommend you build these guys to get the most out of their kits. We'll talk about all that here in a minute. But first, let you guys know I will be doing a giveaway for the 7th anniversary on the global side of the game. The giveaway will consist of a Banpresto Super Saiyan God Goku and Vegeta figure, as well as a Google Play or Apple gift card of your choice. To be eligible for the giveaway, all you got to do is subscribe to the YouTube channel and join the awesome Discord community where the giveaway will be taking place. Link for that is down in the description below. Stay tuned for more details on the giveaway here soon. If you liked the video today and you find useful information, drop a like on the video and comment down below and let me know what you think about these hidden potential builds. If you have any other things that you would like to add, or if you disagree and think there's a better way to build them, let me know down in the comments below. Curious to see what you guys think. So let's go and hop over to the Dokkan Wiki. Just real quick, we're going to touch up on this in case you're newer or maybe you've just come back to Dokkan Battle after a little while and you don't know about these units. These are 5 farmable free-to-play units, very great free-to-play units at that, especially with the Extreme Z Awakenings that we now have available. You can go in and get these guys farmed out, you get some Dragon Stones in the process, and of course a pretty good team. But you can see here that we have on the right side of the screen, it shows the dates throughout the week that you can farm these units out through their respective events. And then also on the weekends, they've been doing a thing where all of the events are available from Friday to Sunday, so you can get in there, farm out the units and their hidden potential orbs and rainbow them out, which I do recommend doing. Something especially if you haven't done it already, something to hold you over until the global 7th anniversary, as well as get some free Dragon Stones and things like that. So go ahead and do that. If you have any more questions, I don't want to stay on the topic for too long, but if you have any more questions, drop those down in the comments below if you want help or any other information about farming these guys out, and I'll help you out how I can. So in the top right of the screen as well, you can see the Extreme Z Area Team Bardock Edition is where we can now go and farm out the Extreme Z Awakening medals for the units. Once I have a video out for that, which I will be putting out soon, I'll put a link in this video and in the description, so you can click on that and go check that out if you need help beating the event, so that you can get these guys Extreme Z Awakening, which again, they're Extreme Z Awakenings, because again, this is something I highly recommend doing. Really great free-to-play units. And let's go ahead and take a look at their kits now, as well as those hidden potential builds. So, starting out with the Strength Bardock, very great free-to-play unit, and he is one of the better ones here. And let's take a look. So, some of the things that I will say, what you want to look at when you're building hidden potential with these units, a few things in general between their super attack and their passive skill. So the main thing with super attack is if they have stun chance or seal chance, as well as any attack or defense stacking that lasts more than one turn. Those things will play a big factor in how you want to build them. So for example, this Bardock, he raises attack and defense for only one turn, so there's nothing really crazy there, but he does seal enemies super attack, but because it's guaranteed, you don't have to worry about any additional attack, because that's what I would recommend. But with him raising attack and defense for one turn and sealing enemies super attack, you could do additionals if you want, but nothing really screams anything there. But in the passive skill, you've got something a little extra. So attack and defense was 150%, no big deal, but you get an additional attack defense plus 20% per key sphere obtained, and then you also have a chance of performing a critical hit plus 7% per rainbow key sphere obtained, and then he also has some damage reduction per Team Bardock category allies on the team. So for him, with the attack and defense plus 20% per key sphere obtained, I'd say that makes you want to get some crit or additional attack, whichever one you see fit. You already have the chance of performing critical hit plus 7% per rainbow key sphere, so I would say additional attack is probably something you want to focus on a little bit more, because if you can get a lot of key spheres with him, and then you do some additional attacks with that, you're going to be doing a couple of really hard punches with the unit. At the same time, if you get that super attack off, you'll be sealing the enemy super attack, so really good stuff there. And if you get those rainbow key spheres on top of that, you could get some crits off. So I'd say focus additional attack first, followed by some crits. And because he has damage reduction, if you have him on a Team Bardock team, you don't necessarily need evasion, but usually for me, my recommendation is always putting one evasion node in there, because you never know when it's going to come in handy. But again, I'd say start with the additional attack, crit, and then evasion in that order for this unit. Let's go ahead and go to another great unit, old Shugesh here. Lord Shugesh, he has something that screams you want additional attack, and that is his infinite defense stacking there. You want to definitely do some additional attack because basically the more super attacks he gets off, the tankier he is going to get. And then another thing is, in his passive, there's some cool stuff here, some cool synergy with this team. You can see he gets an additional attack and defense plus 50% when you have another Team Bardock category ally in the same turn. He performs a critical hit when the target enemy is stunned, which he can stun the target when the enemy's super attack is sealed. So if you have on a team with Bardock, you launch that super attack, seal the enemy's super attack, and then he'll basically stun that enemy when their super attack is sealed, and then when that stun happens, he will perform a critical hit. So that's really good stuff there. He launches an additional attack, which has a high chance, 50% chance to become a super attack when target enemy is in attack down or defense down status. Some of these other units we'll look at, they do that for him. So he is a very versatile unit, great synergy with the other Team Bardock units, but the main thing I want to say here is an additional attack, highly focused additional attack, because you've got that infinite defense stacking, as well as if he already has the unit, if the unit is stunned, then he performs a critical hit already, so you don't need to really focus on putting crit in there too much. So similar to the Bardock, I would say go ahead and focus on additional attack to raise that defense up, get those crits off when the enemy is stunned, and then again you can put the you can focus on a little bit of crit followed by that additional attack, and then put maybe an evasion node in there. After you get his defense all the way stacked up, he's going to be tanking very well, so just keep that in mind. So again, to sum that up, go with the additional attack first, the crit second, and then focus evasion if you really feel it's necessary, which again, I always put at least one in there because sometimes it comes in handy. So let's go into the next unit, which is going to be the TEQ Tora. So here you can see he infinitely stacks attack and defense, so that screams right there you want some additional attack for that sake, because he will be tanking as well as doing some great damage when you get that stuff stacked up. But here you can see he causes supreme damage to the enemy and greatly lowers defense. So like I said, the Shugesh will be able to have those additional attacks going off that has a chance to become a super attack when you do super attacks with the Tora, because you'll put the enemy in defense down status. So just focus on using these units in that order, so hopefully you can get these passives to go. His passive here, let's take a look and see what we have for hidden potential build off of that. All allies get Ki +3 attack and defense plus 30%. Team Bardock category allies have a chance of performing a critical hit plus 10%, and recovers 15% HP whenever HP is 85% or less if you have 3 or more low-class warrior category allies on the team. So really, his passive is mostly support for the rest of the units, so you don't really have anything there other than, again, this super attack, having the infinite attack and defense stacking. That is a main thing I'm going to say. Focus on that. A lot of additional attack with that. Again, similar to the Bardock and the Shugesh. The infinite attack and defense stacking is really going to help if you have the additional attacks focused. So focus additional attack, crit, and then again that evasion node. I'd say he is more likely, you might want to put an evasion node or 2 in him, because he doesn't have any evasion or anything like that. But again, that's really for later on. After you get him his attack and defense stacked, you won't really have to worry about that. So take that how you will, but it's similar to the last 2 units. You'll see this fairly often with these units. Focus the additional attack, then crit, then evasion if you see it fit. Move on to the AGL Borgos here. Starting with the super attack, greatly raises attack and defense for only 1 turn, so there's no infinite defense stacking, but he'll cause supreme damage to the enemy with a high chance of stunning, which is a 50% chance of stunning. Where you have that stun chance, again, you can help that Shugesh out to help get those crits off. But because it's only a 50% chance to stun, you could say that you could get some additional attacks there, so he has higher chances, more chances I should say, to get the stuns off. With his passive, you get an additional attack and defense plus 100% when facing only 1 enemy, launches an additional super attack when facing 2 or more enemies, and a high chance, there's 50% chance of performing a critical hit when your team has another Team Bardock category ally attacking the same turn. So really, you could do a lot of different things with him. The additional attacks could come from, you could focus on that with his chance of stunning the enemy, or he already has additional super attack chance when you're facing 2 or more enemies, or I should say he guaranteed will launch an additional super attack when launching 2 or more, or going against, excuse me, 2 or more enemies, and he has a high chance of performing that crit already. So he already has additional and crit built in if you're running on a Team Bardock team. So you could really do this one how you see fit. Again, I would say the additional attack might be more of a focus so you can get those stuns off, but that crit chance, if you get some crits in there and give him a, he only has that 50% chance of doing crits as well. So if you, I'd say you could probably evenly focus additional attack and crit on him, and then you could, because he doesn't infinitely stack attack and defense, maybe you could put a couple of evasion nodes in here because he might be somewhat of a liability on some of the more difficult events, so that way he can have a better chance of evading and then evenly focus out those additionals and those crits. So no matter what, you've always got some additional attacks that could be coming along, and when those additional attacks hit, you have that crit going off because he isn't guaranteed the crits. He is guaranteed the additional, so take it how you will. I'd say the best build that I can think of for him, evenly focus additional and crits, an evasion node or 2 will probably do him well. Moving on to the final unit, the INT Fasha. So super attack, greatly raise defense for only 1 turn, but she'll cause supreme damage to enemy and lower attack and defense. Most of the more difficult events, unfortunately, if you did additional attack with that, you could continue to lower attack and defense, but a lot of units in the more difficult events are actually immune to attack and defense lowering, so nothing too crazy there, not something that is as good as it used to be. The passive skill, attack and defense was 150%, a high chance, which is a 50% chance of evading enemies' attacks, including super attack. So she has that 50% chance, already has a lot of evasion, so I'd say this is the only unit I would say that you don't really need to put any evasion nodes into because she has evasion built in. She'll randomly change key spheres of a certain type to rainbow key spheres, which will help out that Bardock in getting his passive off. You can see here 7% per rainbow key sphere, so that's really good there. And then when there's an ally whose name includes Bardock, which again helps him out there, all allies keep +3 in Team Bardock category allies attack and defense, plus 30% when in the same turn after an evading an attack. So again, she's more of a support unit. When she does evade, she gives all of her allies attack and defense plus 30% in that turn. And really, there's nothing here that speaks too much about whether you want to do additional crit or evasion. So really build this how you want. One thing that I've seen some people do, and something that I did as well with a few of these units, even though they have high evasion, earlier I said you don't have to put evasion nodes in here, but if you really wanted to, you could treat her as a solely support unit, and you can actually get as many evasion nodes as you possibly can. That way, she's pretty much evading every single attack, and you can basically use her as basically like a tech candy Vegito, where you're just putting them in slots where there's high attacks, and you're just going to be evading every single one. And then when the unit gets, or when she evades the attacks, that's where you get that attack and defense plus 30% for all of the allies on the team. So I'd say, even though I had said earlier not to focus on evasion, that's probably one of the best builds you could do for her. Build a lot of evasion into her so she's always evading, she's giving buffs to the team, and then she's able to mitigate a lot of the damage when you're on a rotation that has a lot of slots, or a lot of super attacks in one slot, or maybe just attacks in general. Help mitigate some of the damage, buff your other units on the team, and then for whatever's left over, however you see fit, if you like doing some additional or some crits, help deal a little bit of damage, but she's not going to be a main damage dealing unit, more so a support, as we talked about. So that's going to be my main recommendation for all of the hidden potential builds for these units. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. Do you agree with my hidden potential builds, or do you think there's a better way to build them? I'm curious to see what you guys think. If you disagree, that's all right. I'm actually, these are what I think of these units, but I'm not always 100% on the money. So tell me if there's something I'm not thinking of, if there's something that you think there's a better recommendation. Although I think that those are some pretty good builds, should get you through most of the difficult events, and it makes these guys, in my opinion, it makes them the most usable, and helps with the synergy and everything like that. But if you have any questions again about farming these guys out, getting them rainbowed out, or the Extreme Z area, let me know down in the comments section below, and I'll help you out how I can with that. That's everything I've got for the video today. Hopefully you guys found some useful information. If you did, make sure to drop a like on the video today. Again, comment down below. Let me know what you think about these builds. And again, make sure you are joining the Discord community and hit that subscribe button so you can be eligible for the upcoming 7th anniversary giveaway. Stay tuned for more information on that. As always, I appreciate each and every one of you guys coming by and checking out the video today. We'll catch you on the next one. Signing out.